Hey guys, it's Thomas with TJZ Tech. In today's video, we'll be demonstrating the best free credit monitoring apps that are available in 2021. And in this video, we'll be focusing on the pros and cons of each of these services. We'll also be going over how often your score is updated, what score is featured, and what the difference between them is. We'll be sampling the user interface and also going over additional features, such as if the service offers a bank account, if they offer credit monitoring notifications, and also if they give you those pesky and annoying pre-qualified credit card notifications. So without further ado, let's just get straight to it. First up on our list is, of course, going to be Credit Karma, and this isn't of course because it's probably the most well-known services out there. So with Credit Karma, you're going to get your VantageScore 3 scores from both TransUnion and EquiFax. These scores are going to be updated every week or roughly every 7 days. And Credit Karma also offers both a checking and savings account. Currently, as of Q1 2021, they're offering 0.3% APY, which is not really very competitive, but I guess it's better than nothing to have. Plus, they do offer you a pretty cool looking debit card, which I do have, and you can see right here. Weird flex, but okay. So some of the pros of Credit Karma is obviously that it's one of the most popular and well-known services. They do provide excellent credit monitoring notifications. So if, for example, you open up a new credit card or you get a new hard inquiry, you get a notification pretty much instantaneously to let you know what's going on. Credit Karma, of course, as pretty much all the other services that we'll mention, provide an easy breakdown of what caused your most recent credit score to change. So if you log onto the app and your score decreased by 5 points, it'll give you a good idea as to what happened. It also allows disputing negative items directly from the app itself, and it can give you a pretty decent credit score simulator. So if you decide to do something stupid and not make a payment, you get to see how your credit score is affected. So some of the cons of Credit Karma, and this is actually kind of a pretty big one, is at least in my case, they kept promoting lower car interest rates. And they kept giving me notifications for it. And the funny thing is, actually, my car insurance was a lot cheaper than anything that they were offering. So I think I had to go into the settings and opt out of those notifications. But they also keep pushing notifications of other credit cards that you pre-qualify for. So that's kind of annoying. And that's pretty much the reason of this video, is to discuss what are your other options to get your credit score besides Credit Karma, because there's a lot of other good ones out there. Next up on our list is, unsurprisingly, going to be Experian. This is the only app that actually lets you get access to your FICO score for free. So you may want to use this in combination with Credit Karma or any of the other services that we'll be discussing later in the video. So your score with Experian is updated monthly, but it seems like whenever there's a noteworthy change to your report, they kind of update it even if you're not due. But it seems like whenever there's a change to your credit file, they'll give you an update a little bit sooner than that. Experian also has their Experian Boost, which allows you to gain good credit by counting good standing utility bills and etc. towards your credit score. I won't be going too much into detail about how to do that. That really deserves its own video on its own, but I can confirm that you can definitely increase your credit score by at least a few points. In some cases even 10, 15, maybe 20 points. So it's definitely worth looking into that. So let's talk about the pros for Experian. First is that they provide excellent credit monitoring notifications, pretty much like all the other services. They also provide Experian Boost, which is a good way to boost your FICO scores up a little bit. Another pro is that they provide more than just one FICO score. For example, you can get access to different bank scores, your auto score. It seems like a majority of them are based off of FICO 8. FICO 9 does now exist, but you can't really get it in the application. But as of right now, that's kind of fine because no one really uses it. It's pretty new and it's not widely implemented. And lastly, with Experian, you can dispute negative items on your report directly from the app itself. So there's only one con that I can really come up with when using Experian, and that is that they promote their paid services constantly. For example, every single time that I log into their website on the computer, they're constantly asking me if I want to upgrade my services. Before I even see my account, I have to click no and exit out of that, so that's pretty annoying. Fortunately, you don't have that on the application, but I do occasionally get notifications from the app asking me if I want to upgrade my service. And unfortunately, it looks like that's just something we have to live with, since Experian is the only app that's out there that provides a free FICO score, but that's just something to consider. Next on our list is CreditWise by Capital One. This is a good alternative to Credit Karma because they also provide your VantageScore 3, which is provided by TransUnion. They don't provide anything by EquiFax. I'm sorry, I actually meant to say EquiFax there, but for good reason, because most lenders look at your TransUnion score over EquiFax anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Just like Credit Karma, CreditWise is updated every 7 days. So the pros are that it has a different layout to the other applications. They also have a good credit score simulator, kind of similar to Credit Karma. And the best pro in this case is that they don't promote any sort of pre-qualified credit cards or any insurance rates, anything like that. Even though it's provided by Capital One, you don't see any suggested accounts, and you don't need to have a Capital One credit card or bank account, whatever, to have this application. The last good thing that I'll mention about this is that they provide a somewhat useful score improvement suggestion. They have their own tab at the bottom that shows you how to improve your score, and this is pretty useful for someone who's just starting out at credit. If you are a little bit more well-versed with your credit score, then these probably won't be as useful to you, but it's at least handy just to see the basic rundown of what your next potential steps could be. So the only real downside to CreditWise is that it only provides that one credit score by TransUnion, so it only really gives you a partial glimpse of your total credit profile. But I would recommend using this in combination with probably Experian so that you can have access to both your Vantage score and FICO scores as well for free. So next up on our list is going to be Credit Sesame, which is another pretty popular player in the game. They are very similar to CreditWise in the fact that they provide your Vantage Score 3 score from TransUnion. The downside is that it's updated once a month instead of once a week, but they do offer a debit account, which does provide incentives that if you increase your credit score, they can give you a little bit of a boost and put a little extra money into that account. So some of the pros for Credit Sesame is that they offer suggestions or tips on how to improve your credit score, and the suggestions that they offered were actually different than the ones that I've seen from other services, so that's kind of cool to get a different perspective on what's affecting your credit score and how to fix that. They also use an A, B, C, D, F score rating for, again, another perspective on how to understand your credit score. So for example, maybe you have a low credit utilization, you could be at an A or an A+, but maybe you have one missed payment on one of your credit cards for back in the day, so maybe you'll get a B or a C, which is cool because it's unique. There's no other service that provides that kind of grading scale. Again, it really depends on what your personal preference is. Just like all the other services, they do provide an in-depth detail on what is affecting your credit score. So some of the cons are, as I mentioned, of course, it's only updated once a month, at least as far as I could see. So if you don't need to have your credit score updated as frequently, this might be perfectly fine for you. And of course, it only shows that one credit score from TransUnion. So again, this one only gives you a partial glimpse of your overall credit profile. So there are other apps out there that I'd figure I'd mention just because they exist, but I wouldn't recommend using them. So the first app that you should probably avoid is the TransUnion app, because they only provide your credit score if you are a member of their paid service. Also, EquiFax has their own app, which is called Lock and Alert, but it seems like it's utter trash from the ratings that I've seen. The purpose of this app is only to lock your credit file with EquiFax, but it seems like that doesn't work at all. You instead have to go onto their website, which completely defeats the purpose of having the app, so don't even bother wasting your time researching into that one. Another app is MyFICO, which is pretty much the only other app that provides your different FICO scores. But unfortunately with this one, they require you to have a paid subscription, whereas with EquiFax, you don't need a paid subscription. And lastly, you can also get your credit score from pretty much almost any banking app. I know Chase provides it, as well as Capital One that has CreditWise built in directly into their Capital One app. But there's also even other finance tracking applications such as Mint that do provide your credit score. I am not going to go over them in this video just because the credit score tracking is only a very small part of what those apps can do, so they would each warrant their own video in that case. So that about wraps it up for our list today. I hope this video kind of helped you guys out in determining which service would be best for you. Of course, you should never pay for your credit score. It's always provided free. The only way that you should pay is if you qualify for a special instance, like for example, maybe you're getting a new car loan and you need to see what your auto FICO score is. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope this video helped you out. If it did, feel free to give it a like. Also, feel free to subscribe. Until next time, peace out.